What are the elements of business system? A business system is really made up of 5 components. Most business owners know about 2, and that's usually why it fails. That's why those systems, when they're 2 and not 5, they don't get completed, they get ignored. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 5 essential elements that every business system needs to incorporate. So I want you to think about the world's biggest franchise food place, the Golden Arches, right? It's been around for decades, and they created kind of this methodology that they took from somebody else, and they turned it into this worldwide phenomenon so that if you're in Tokyo, Japan, or you're in Montpellier, France, or you're somewhere in Brazil, or you're in the United States, you can go to this one place with Golden Arches and you can basically get a fry that tastes almost exactly the same anywhere around the world. How did they create such an interesting system? Whether you like the fry or not, you like the hamburger or not, it doesn't matter. They created a repetitive system that is predictable, and I am always amazed at the number of people who go around the world to travel and yet they'll stop and eat at McDonald's. Why do they do that? It's because McDonald's created a system, and that system breeds predictability, and that predictability brings a familiarity and comfort. Well, guess what? People who work in your business, people who hire you for your business, they want that same level of comfort and familiarity with what you're doing. So there is value in not you becoming like McDonald's, but in you systematizing the product of your business in a way that's helpful and familiar. In fact, when we think about this, I want you to think about the product that you offer, whatever your service is. Too many times we as owners are obsessed over the product that we offer, when in reality we should be obsessing over the process via which we deliver that product. So it's not that your product is your product. There's a new way of thinking, and that is your process is your product. So when we think about process are actually all the little subtle elements that make up a system. And so a system is really nothing more than a collection of processes. So I want you to think about the solar system. The solar system is a big thing, but the solar system itself is made up of planets and stars and orbits and everything else within that. So there's elements within that system that make up the whole. And so you as a business owner want to be in the business, not of doing all the tasks to run your business. That's not a business, that's a job. But you want your business to be able to run and grow with or without you, which means we need to create a collection of processes and bundle those into systems. So what are those 5 documented elements of a system? If we look like the human body and biology of a cell, you can talk about the nucleus and the mitochondria and all of that sort of thing. I can't believe I just said that. That shows proof that I actually remembered something from 7th grade. It's about all you're going to get from me in science. But you've got all those sub-parts, those element parts of the whole. Well, the same works in a system when we think about it. So there are 5 primary elements within a system. The first of those elements are what we're going to call documented process. Now, for many, we need to start here because usually we go straight into what I call abdication instead of delegation. And the reason system exists is so other people can use them. So we can't have a conversation with systems without talking about delegation at the same time. And in order to develop the system, all those processes that are collected into that big system, we've got to be able to document the processes that exist within that system. And so in documenting those processes, I want to give you a little hack. One of the easiest things to do is the next time you do a thing, the next time you do a task, a process, record it like it's the last time you'll ever do it. So if you're out mowing the grass, set up a camera. Mow the grass, record it like it's the last time you'll ever do it. Sometimes we do trade shows and we have a big sign and booth and all that. Well, the first time my son went with me, we set up a video camera and we recorded how we set up the sign. So guess what? Nobody ever asks us that question anymore. We created a process that comes with the system of our marketing system. So the documented process is basically a step-by-step instruction manual. The second element of a system is the trained personnel. So it's trained people that we start to equip them with the processes that we're documenting up here so that they can work that. So that's the second element that we need for people to adequately run the system. Because remember, we can't separate system from delegation. And by the way, I've got another video that walks you through our anchor setup, and it's a way that you can, through the acronym of PTA, that's process, train, and accountability, ensure that you're getting these systems and these process trained every single week for the business, 52 weeks a year. We call it our anchor system, and make sure to go click on that link in the description below and go watch that video to understand how that works so you can adequately, repetitively, predictably, and meaningfully train your people. The third element of every system is what we call the criteria of that system. Now, I want to break this down into verbiage you may understand, and that is your values. and what we call your unique core values. Now, you may stop here and go, oh, we've got those. We had a high-paid consultant come in and they helped us work that out, and so our values are excellence, integrity, responsibility, and respect. Great job. Those are Enron's core values before they stole your money and went out. True story, by the way. And so with the values, what we're talking about is we're actually talking about boundaries for decision making. And these are boundaries that are unique to your business. So in our business, at Business on Purpose, we have 5 unique core values. I'll give you some of them. You ready? 85-15, 4 R's, work demonstrates faith, feedback, and relentless learning. Most of those don't make any sense to you. Why? It's because they're unique to us. We don't just call these values, we call them unique core values. We want them to be boundaries for decision making. Currently, at the time of this video, we have a team of 12. Well, I don't oversee that team of 12. I don't micromanage them. I don't look over their shoulders. They are doing work right now as I'm filming this video, and I'm not over their shoulder to make them do it. How do I know that they're making good autonomous decisions based on the processes that we have? Because of the core values. So they make those decisions within the core values. Sometimes do we violate those? Yes, but that's where we have accountability to be able to come back. Far better to have these values documented and to go back and say, that's how we make decisions when I'm not around or when they're not around. So if you want your team to be able to run these processes and the system as a whole, then you're going to have to set up boundaries for how they make decision making, because you can't be the bottleneck for every question that comes into your business. That leads to the 4th element of a business system, and that is a measurable outcome. So once we've got the boundaries for decision making, after we're starting to train our people after the documented process, then we need to show those people what the outcome that they're going for is. Too many times we build systems in the void of the outcome, and the system exists for the system's purpose. And that's not the aim of the system. The system is there to drive an outcome. The system is not there just so that you can work the system. And so when we write down these outcomes, if you've got the marketing system, so we're going to break these down into 4 major systems that happen in every business: marketing, sales, operations, administration, MSOA. And so in those 4 systems, we want to come up with the outcome. For instance, the marketing system, lead generation. The sales system, conversion. The operations system, whatever the metrics of your product delivery are. The administrative system, the goal of that system is to account and generate profitability. One aim for every system. Make sure the outcome is clear based within the guidelines of the values so you can train the people on the process to get it done. A process without an outcome creates confusion. They don't know why they're working it. But when we have a process with a clear outcome and what we're looking for, that is radical and focused. You don't want 16 outcomes. You don't want to go, well, we want impressions and we want people to show up, we want attendance and we want leads. No. One outcome. What is it? Now, you can have some activity indicators, or what they call lead indicators, in there to make sure that the proper activities are being done that will ultimately lead to that outcome. But regardless, you've got to lay out the outcomes so that they're clear for the people to make decisions within the boundaries to run the processes that you've delegated. The 5th element of actually creating a business system is this feedback loop. So we want a constant loop of feedback loop. At Business on Purpose, we call it the Big 5 feedback loop. What does that mean? Well, if you go hunting in South Africa, I've never been, but I've heard. If you go hunting in South Africa, what are you hunting for? You're hunting for the Big 5. You're hunting for the elephant, giraffe, and I forget what's on the list. But there's the Big 5 game animals in South Africa. Well, when we come into a business and start working with clients under 100 employees, we're looking for the Big 5. Those Big 5s are as follows: a once weekly team meeting, a once weekly departmental meeting. What are the departments? Marketing, sales, ops, and admin. Every single one of those needs a once weekly agenda-driven leader-led meeting. Number 3, we're looking for a once monthly executive meeting. That's a high-level leadership of the business, even if there's only 2 or 3 of you. Once a month, you're looking at 60,000 foot over the entire business. The 4th part of the Big 5 is the annual performance review. And that's where we need to sit down with each one of our team members and talk about their performance over the year. We actually break that down 50-50. Half the performance review is us evaluating them. The other half is them evaluating themselves. It's an interesting conversation. And the 5th and final element of the Big 5 is a one-on-one check-in. Every single team member within the organization needs to have a one-on-one check-in at least once a month. What all of this provides is a home, an airtight home, to where you've got these 5 elements around: team meetings, departmental meetings, executive meetings, one-on-one check-ins, and annual performance reviews, where information comes in and it can't leak. It gets stopped on the way out. We've got that feedback loop to ensure that we're aiming towards the proper outcomes and doing it through the right values. These are the 5 elements of every single business system, but in order to have a properly functioning business system, you got to have a properly functioning team. So here's what I want you to do next. Click on the link in the description below. I've prepared a video for you that will walk you through how to find, hire and onboard, and retain the right talent. And at the end of the video, if you'll stick around, we have got a world-class free gift for you. It's a custom handbook we've built along with the exact same templates we use with our clients every day. Why are we doing this? Because we don't want you to live in the chaos that you feel right now. Our aim is to liberate you from chaos, to make time for the things that matter most.